We need to stand up against this kind of hate, or it will break us all down and there will be nothing left.
An emotional Milwaukee mom voicing her anger as the trial of the man accused of killing Sade Robinson moves into its fourth day.
And just moments ago, the most disturbing evidence yet was shown to the jury on day 4 of the Maxwell Anderson trial.
Yeah, today the prosecution showed Sade Robinson's headless torso that was discovered on a South Milwaukee beach. CBS 58's Adam Reif live outside the courthouse complex after a very emotional end to the first week of this trial. Adam?
It was. Jessup and Natalie, good afternoon to you. The air was absolutely sucked out of this courtroom in the last 30 minutes of the afternoon session. To be clear, we will not be showing any images of the torso or graphic images otherwise in the video you're about to see. No images in the video. But in a strategic move, the last thing the prosecution showed the jury before the weekend and everyone else in the courtroom was the most disturbing evidence yet. It was Sade Robinson's headless torso that had washed up on a South Milwaukee beach. A very demure investigator took the stand to explain what she saw. She was very subdued as she explained, walking up to the beach and talking with investigators. This was the scene of the torso last April after she walked the jury through what she saw. She described the torso partially covered in sand with the right breast cut off. One arm remained, and Sade Robinson's tattoos were visible as identifiers. People in the gallery openly cried when these images were shown. They covered their eyes, they covered their mouth, and they looked away. It was a sobering moment, but one we knew that was coming. Physical evidence the prosecution had to show at some point in this trial. We're going to play a sequence in a moment that shows the investigator describing what the courtroom is seeing. Then Judge Laura Caravello breaks early for the day, and at the end of this clip, you'll hear Sade Robinson's mother yell at Maxwell Anderson from the gallery as she gets up to leave the courtroom.
Both legs are dismembered?
Correct.
And her right arm?
Correct.
What about her head?
Dismembered.
What about her neck?
Dismembered.
I think we've had enough for today. I think we're going to call it at this point.
Gives you an idea of the emotion in the courtroom at the time. It came at the end of a very long day in which they also saw some graphic physical evidence in the morning session as well. That's when the prosecution focused on a park near 31st and Galena. That's where more remains were found last April as searchers were looking for Sade Robinson. They did talk about the search efforts as law enforcement agents walked shoulder to shoulder through the park area and also railroad tracks that ran adjacent to the park. The law enforcement officers testified this morning about the body parts and human remains that they found during those searches. On April 5th of 2024, they found 3 pieces of remains in a wooded area of the park. And in court, the prosecution showed photos of the flesh, and investigators testified the cuts looked clean. Sade Robinson's mother reacted out loud in the morning as well when they were first shown. She appeared to say something then to Maxwell Anderson, but I could not make it out at the time. Anderson, attentive throughout, he was watching the evidence screen, but some in the audience were wiping away tears this morning as those photos were shown.
3 separate human remains were a smaller piece of flesh, approximately 2 by 2 inches. The second piece of flesh was larger, approximately 6 by 6, and it was the left foot, human foot.
The medical examiner moved to the tarp and now revealed that it was a human leg, which appeared to be severed above the knee and at the ankle.
Back to moments ago as the day ended for the first week. Judge Caravello, after the outburst from Sade Robinson's mother, reminded the jury to put that out of their mind, that they are banned from being on social media. They should not talk about the case with anyone else, and they should try to separate anything that happens outside the courtroom in the gallery or beyond, that they should only focus on the testimony. They'll resume at 8:45 on Monday. Something of note, we talked about the demonstration earlier, that people came here to support the family, a lot of them wearing pink, Sade Robinson's favorite color. A couple people came into the courtroom wearing pink, and the judge did address it. She said it was no problem at the moment, but if a lot of people came in starting next week and it looked like a demonstration, the defense would probably object, not wanting to taint the jury, and the judge said she would be forced to ban people from the courtroom if they're wearing pink and would ask them to wear something else. Natalie and Jessup, week 1 is down. We'll come back on Monday. Back to you.
Adam Reif, Live for us in Milwaukee. Thank you. And attorney Justin Padway joins us on the news at 9 and 10 tonight throughout the trial with continuing legal expertise as we, of course, hear more from the courtroom. We will be there every day of that trial with a live stream on our social pages and CBS58.com. Our website is also where you can find all of our coverage of Sade Robinson's disappearance and murder.